Hello, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. I'm in the JHWR, that's the John Hume War Room, this morning with today's guest. You may remember her because she's on most of the episodes.
You looked like, hi, I'm John McClure.
Hi.
When you were taking off the glasses there, it was like something out of The Simpsons.
John McClure. Hi, I'm John McClure.
Is
Was
it?
he the no, Troy McClure.
Troy.
Troy McClure. Yeah, tragic character. Thanks for the comparison. I'll take it.
He's a TV star.
He's a
Do you
T-
take it?
Yeah, a cartoon TV star. I'd still take it though, to be immortalised in The Simpsons. We're in the JHWR, the John Hume War Room. It is Monday. In about 2 hours' time, Noel's brother and 2 kids are going to arrive in on top of us from Canada, and thus begins the St. Patrick's Day, the St. Paddy's Day celebrations. I might have a drink. I haven't had a drink all year. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of having a beer.
He could go
Contemplating
this
it.
evening for 1 or 2, especially when he's going to be here so early. He'll nap. He'll be ready for rock and roll.
I can't drink for shit though. I haven't drank since fucking 3 months.
Yeah, but he'll be severely. He'll be severely jet lagged. But that works
He's a
in
sucky
Carl's
cat.
favour usually.
He's a sucky gaff. But I would just drink
Bottles.
something like that.
And you're in.
I don't know, do I want to drink? It's really fucking weird. It's really weird. Like, I mean, if you could smoke inside in bars, and do you know what I would love to do now? I'd love to go over to the Haven and go to Packy. Come here, Packy. Throw us on a butter coffee there.
Bring over a little.
Throw me on a bullet coffee there, Packy. Whisk it up in front of me in the NutriBullet. Pour it into a beautiful small
Irish coffee glass.
No, I wouldn't. Do you know the little cups we have inside, those little small ones?
These ones that are in my hand.
Is precisely this one. We've them in a variety of colours. If you have a purple or a green Packy, bring it in there. And is it okay if I just spark up this?
Maybe you would just like me to put the heating on in the other sitting room and you can just sit in there.
And smoke a J inside there and drink. Oh no, the lights have gone out.
Oh,
And that's not good for the podcast at all.
this is real life. It's okay. It's okay. I've put them on. I'm turning them on.
Okay.
Don't be at the plug.
I won't be at the plug. I'm so sorry. I think that's the universe trying to tell me to go out.
You're looking for sun. You're looking for signs all day,
Thank
and
goodness.
then the little kick of the extension lead and
Which knocked out all the lights here is God saying, Cornelius, you've been so good this year. You've dropped the weight. You're on the carnivore diet. You're doing 80-20. You're trying to live a balanced life now, Cornelius. Do you know what you need to bring in a little bit more balance is a couple of beers with your brother-in-law. Do it. For God's sake, do it. That's what I think that was.
oh yeah.
That's just my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
I feel like we should tell the listeners and the viewers. I feel they're invested in the fact that there has been a change in venue for the communion.
Okay, so let's just go back in time first of all right, guys? So Noel said to me, I think, and this is my version of the story, so I would like no interruptions.
Okay.
Noel said to me, I'm going to say 4 months ago, I think we'll have Harvey's communion
Correct.
at home. We'll have it at home. We'll get the place power washed outside. We have to get the gutters cleaned. We have to get the windows done. That's your job. You make sure that gets done. I'll get the house inside done. I said, okay, no problem. Perfect. About half an hour later, on the same day, Noel said, I've been thinking about this, and I think we should go to Springford Hall. I was like, okay, that would be more expensive, wouldn't it? Yes, but it'll be less pressure on me, and it'll be nice to go away for, for the family and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, okay, let's do Springford Hall. 25 minutes later, we were back to the house, and then we were back to Springford Hall. Long story short, we decided on Springford Hall. You decided on Springford Hall, and I agreed. So much so that we went to Springford Hall for a bite to eat, and I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't think it was great, but you said that I was wrong. So we booked Springford Hall, and for both our families, right? My sister, all my sisters, my parents, and all their partners, and all the kids, and all of Noel's
Extended family.
extended family as well. All right, going to cost a pretty penny, right? But it's he's getting his communion. God has given me signs today to go on the lash, so why would I not be celebrating one of these big dates, right, in our Christian faith, even though we're not very Christian. All right, but grand, done. That's what we're doing. That's what's happening. I tried to change Noel's mind a few times about going back to the house, and in the meantime, I've got the place power washed and get the gutters done and all the outside jobs have been done. And but Noel was like, "No, I don't think so." And then about 2 weeks ago, we actually had a bit of a fight. I think we did a podcast about it. This is my version of the story. We had a bit of an argument. Do you remember when I was going up to in the car with Chris, and you were getting a great laugh out of it because you didn't think we were having an argument?
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that way. Exactly. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why confused look in your face because you still. So, and I was talking about the communion and that, and I was like, we could just save money and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, no, it's Springford Hall is where we're going. And then yesterday we went. So yesterday, then my niece had her birthday, and my sister and her husband entertained us all the family inside in their house. It was a lovely day.
Lovely day.
We did a lovely day. Cork hammered Clare. We got to see that match. Everyone was there. My sister's home from India. It was great. There was lots of love, lots of lovely food. No, we stuck to our carnivore vibes. But there was such a lovely spread there, and it was great. And then we came home last night, and Noelle said to me, "I think we should have the communion at home." So now we've nothing planned for this podcast. She's just brought it up on the podcast here. I think we're having the communion at home. That's my version of the events. I'm willing to listen to your lies now.
Yeah. I would agree with you on a lot of those points. I liked the idea of having it at home too, because I was like, we'll get the place inside and outside a bit sorted. You're saying outside is sorted. It's far from sorted. The wall and the gate would definitely have to be painted, and the porch outside would need to be painted. But that's it.
Gate.
But continuing, I remember, don't interrupt.
Sorry. It's just very hard not to when the new jobs are being added to the list when the old jobs are done.
This was the communion jobs, though. There's a difference to what we needed to get the house ready for the summertime than what we needed to get the house ready for the communion. The communion. So many people have actually said to me about the reel, like about the wall.
Yeah.
The wall has to be painted for the communion, because they're like, are ye actually filming inside my house? Like, I feel like you've taken the words out of my mouth.
Has any man said that to you now, or has it just been a woman?
Women.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But anyway.
That's very interesting.
But the reason I didn't was because we've so much work to do inside and outside the house, and we have all the installation happening at some stage, and half the house might be painted or not painted, and blah blah blah. But then we had a lovely day yesterday, and our kids are at an age now, and we will have a couple of smaller kids as well, just 2 smallies, but that within a safe place, they're very safe. Does that make sense? As in, within somebody's home or within something like that.
Like my sister's home yesterday.
Yeah.
And there was no minding in them yesterday. They were just like,
checking up on them. Whereas if you go to a hotel, you still have to mind the kids. That's the way like, it's more sit down, it's more formal. They have to like be seated for an extended period of time and all of that.
Tamed. They're very hard to tame.
Tame, and it's like they have to conform for way longer. Whereas in an environment like yesterday, do you want a piece of pizza? No, grand, go on, run away. Do you want a bar of chocolate? Grand, eat that. Whereas when you're in a sit down and you're paying money for them to eat a kids menu or whatever, they have to be seated for a long time, for a period of time. Then they go outside and you have to keep leaving where you are to go check on kids outside. Do you know, like, you have to take turns or blah, blah, blah. So, and then what was stopping me from having it at home is going, oh, the pace really needs to be done up. Like, it's a show, like, as I always say. And then I'm going, these are my,
But it's not. Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay.
But then I'm going, these are my family. Like, if we can't have, who cares if the
Exactly.
whole house needs to be painted
They won't care.
inside? Do you know, it's about sitting and enjoying each other's company
Yeah.
and having a glass of vino and just enjoying ourselves and celebrating Harvey John O'Sullivan.
And being comfortable to do it. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I think we should definitely do it at home. It's just a lot of energy wasted in the changing of minds. And we booked Springford now as well. Like, so we have to.
Well, I can easily cancel that. Yeah. But, and another little genius idea we've decided on is having the two families on separate days.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I really do. Because, like, they hate each other. They don't hate each other.
They don't hate each other at all. At all. They all get on perfectly well.
But they are different. They're different types of they have different types of ways of enjoying them. Like, my family could sit around, right, and talk about the olden days, and then start singing a song with having a sing song sober, and your crowd would just be just actually kind of the same.
No,
really.
it's
kind of
the same. I was just about to say,
it's the same now that I think about it.
It's the same, but they just want to do it with each other.
Yeah.
They don't want to.
But it's like going to it's like what I say when I'm going to Kerry. It's like, you don't see it, but it's probably the same in my family. It's probably the same in every family. When you just get together with your mother and father and siblings, like yesterday now, I just sat down on a couch beside my father and we watched the match, and we were just talking about. But we were he was on about a match that I had. I went to another hurling match earlier in the day, and Dad was like, "Where was that on?" And I was like, "Oh, it was on in Ada." And he goes, "Oh, Rosslellan?" And I was like, yeah. I said, "It was my first time there." It wasn't. I took you there to a match years ago. And then I instantly remembered the match. Was Dahi Cooney playing in goals for Middleton? He was. I said, I actually fucking remember the match.
Wow.
I was only about 7, and I was like, I actually remember that match. Now that you say it, I remember it, but I hadn't remembered it at all. And like, that was a lovely conversation that was going on. And then I was zoning in and out because my sister was home from India, listening to what was going on there.
Yes, yeah.
You're the same.
That's it. But you want to be in your own company.
Yeah.
And then, like, I had a lovely day yesterday with your family. We had a great time and it was lovely. But then, if you're spreading yourself too thin with a big gang, you can't be in either group. And then
Spread yourself thick.
They're making themselves. They're having all the small talk with the other crowd.
And they're having on airs and graces, and they're like, "Oh yeah, how are things?" Whereas, like, it's two parties where both parties are going to be able to party
and enjoy each other's company. That's the thing.
Yeah,
like, your family enjoy getting together, and my family enjoy getting together.
Yeah.
So let's not get them all together. So that's
we're
where we're
going
at.
to Springford Hall for one of them.
No, we're not.
I was joking.
But
it was not.
So begins the big lists for the
lists,
communion.
Right. Okay. I don't think we need to do anything to the wall.
Outside.
Yes. I think it's perfectly acceptable.
I think it's hilarious that you think that wall outside is fine.
Because I don't fucking stare at the wall. Like, I'm like, it's a wall. I'm passing it. I'm like, wow, that's out of my.
And it annoys me every day when I drive it.
It doesn't even come into my life existence. I'm like, if you ask me the colour of it, I'm going to say beige.
It's the same colour as the house.
Same colour as the house, which is beige. Right?
You colour too, but
and like, and this is my opinion, right? For what it's worth, and I know it won't be heated, right? But I'm going to give it anyway. All right, be heated nor accepted. I think we shouldn't paint anything until we paint everything.
I hear you and I see you,
and I think we should make a plan. If you really want to paint the wall, right, then the house needs to be painted, right, the outside of the house. And if you really want to do that, then I think we need to get a price. And then we'll open a pocket on Revolut and we'll make a proper plan for it.
Yeah, but that won't be till 2027.
Great.
2 years' time.
And in the meantime, that wall will be grand.
It's not. But why not just touch it up? Like, it doesn't have to all be these grand revamp. Just touch things up. We don't touch anything up, even each other.
Oh, we did touch each other up last Monday night, baby. There was a lot of touching going on. You brought it up. I'm knocking it out of the park.
Stop. Okay, so we've discussed, and obviously we discussed on the podcast last week. Actually, it was on the Patreon. No, we discussed the wall and the garden,
And the garden.
and neither of
and
whom
the
are
vibe.
done.
And that was done. Come on. It was.
It's been a quiet week. It actually hasn't,
It
but
wasn't that quiet.
fucking Egypt. But anyway.
Okay, so anyway, Carl is on the way. He'll be here any minute.
Yeah, oh, I'm so excited to see the little farties.
Little farts coming in. Will they go straight to bed? They've flown from Canada. They left last Tuesday, I think.
They left just.
Left yesterday.
No, but it's it'll be the middle of the night. But they might have slept on the way down. They usually, when they come, they're usually like up late and get up early in the mornings for the first, which suits Carl down to the ground.
Yeah, sure, he's kind of used to that. I wonder what it's like in Canada now with this whole Trump thing going on.
I guess you'll find out from him
Can't
tonight.
wait.
But you'll have a scrap.
No, he's anti-Trump.
I know, yeah.
But probably have a scrap about something anyway.
Yeah.
I'm a disagreeable bollocks at the best of times, ladies and gentlemen.
You like to have discussions.
Yeah. But yeah, I had a heated discussion with my Uncle Mike about Trump via text. Hi, Mike. How are you? Fuck Trump. Last week. But yeah, that's it. That's the crack. What are we doing? How are we looking? We're looking. I have no glasses. We're 16 minutes into the podcast. We've just talked absolute toilet there for the first.
Well, I think, excuse me, the wall is not toilet.
It's not the Great Wall of China we're talking about, or the wall between Mexico and Canada. Like, I think Trump is hilarious at the moment. The way he's like, we're just going to take Palestine. It's just going to be. We're not going to buy it. It's just going to be ours. And we're going to put hotels. Everybody's going to want to live there. No, they're not. We're just going and Greenland is another one then.
Yeah.
Maybe
we'll just take Greenland.
I'm going to buy it, or maybe I won't. Like, I'm thinking Ireland could be next. Half the cunts in Ireland would love it. This is the thing, like. They'd be like, oh, Jesus Christ, we want it.
He does it. He's a great job done on the hotel.
Yeah, fucking hell above tonight. We won't have to get a green card. I'll go straight out to California. The only thing is that if he did, everybody in Ireland would just move over to America. Well, they wouldn't really, because it's burning. It's on fire. But what else is going on in your mind, in your world? How are you getting on in the carnivore?
I'm good. You never asked me today what I've lost or what.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot to ask you, because I'm not weighing myself now anymore. Until once a month I'm going to weigh myself, so the vibe has gone out of my head, so I'm very sorry. I apologize. Now, I do know that I asked you yesterday what you were hoping to weigh, and you said that it had been a tricky week for you and that you were hoping to be the same.
So I lost a pound. Sorry, delay.
That's unreal.
Yeah, so I'm happy enough with that. Like, there's such a conflict. There's a real conflict in a sense that, like, you feel like you're sticking to it, the diet, and then you don't lose weight when you've been in situations that could be very tricky. Like, I had a birthday party. The boys went to a birthday party on Saturday, and like there was like lovely homemade chocolates, Rocky Road and crispy chocolate things and Rice Krispie buns kind of things. But like, which I would have just inhaled. I would have had about at least 3. Yeah. And then I'd say even dieting would have had 3. Like, so, and then yesterday we had that party and there was beautiful food, a gorgeous spread.
Chicken korma.
And
potatoes,
apple tart,
and bread. We need to get on to bread in a minute, but go on.
There was apple tart and there was lemon cake, lemon drizzle cake, both, which I would have had 2 slices of lemon drizzle cake. Like, I would have had one with everyone, and then I would just have kind of, walking past, had another piece, because it was very you could have helped yourself or whatnot. So I would have probably, if I was weighing in on another diet, I probably would have been the same, delighted with being the same, or probably okay with being up a pound.
Yeah.
So then to be down a pound is great, but you feel like, Jesus, I stayed good all the time.
But like, if you had, for example, now, right? So yesterday when we were at that party, Leona, my sister, had loads of food there to cover us. loads of meat, loads of nuts. There was loads of everything there, really. Like, there was no way that we were going to be leaving there hungry. Like, you know
Yes,
what I
yeah.
But there was an array of gorgeous food as well. Like, I mean, like, it's the apple crumble for me. I saw Harvey eating apple crumble at one stage, and I was like, I would dive head first into that bowl of apple crumble and fucking happily die as I gorged on. It's just like that would be my lovely thing, right? But when I was there, I was caffeinated. I had a butter coffee before I left, and I had a feed before I left, and I was like, I wasn't in any way tempted.
Yes,
In
yeah.
that
I was
kind of
the
way.
same. Yeah,
I wasn't in any way tempted, but at the same time, I would have liked to celebrate being out with my family by eating food that I traditionally like. However, as you said last week, or was it the week before, this is 6 months of our lives. We're dedicating 6 months of our life. We'll be back. We'll be back, lads. We'll be back. But this is 6 months. And again, with the weight loss, I decided last week, I lost weight last week. And then I was like, I'm obsessing with the weight loss.
Yeah.
So I want to stop
impacting your feeling.
and it's impacting my mind and my feeling and my self-worth. So I was like, okay, I am trying to lose weight. I know that, but I'm also trying to feel great. So I'm only going to weigh in once a month. I'm going to weigh in at the start of April. And I think, right, so if you lost 1 pound there now, right, and let's say next week you lose no pounds, and then the week after that you lose 2 pounds, and the week after that you lose 2 pounds. And then if you look at that at the end of the month, you're like, Jesus, I lost 5 pounds this month. That's nearly half a stone. Fuck it if I do the same next month. It's a way more rewarding, and it's not mentally impacting as much, because like you yesterday when we were at that family gathering, you said afterwards, geez, I had way too much cheese, I had way too much nuts. I'd probably be, if I'm even normal tomorrow, if I'm the same weight, I'll be happy. So like, if you weren't weighing yourself in today and lost 2 pounds and got back on track 100%, we'll say this,
Yeah.
and got lost 2 or 3 then this week and weighed yourself at the end of the month, you'd be in a much more healthier vibe. Because I do know how when you make the sacrifices on the week and it doesn't show on the fucking scales immediately, it's despondent.
But it's also like I lost 3 pounds last week and I lost 1 pound this week, so I lost two, like
Exactly.
averagely 2 a week in those 2 weeks. So like that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Like, so, but like yesterday's fruits are quickly. What's your saying? Do you know the saying you say? Yesterday's fruits are ill forgotten, or
Eaten bread is soon forgotten.
Eaten bread is soon forgotten.
Yeah. And it's like, if we had, like, for example, if you had said fuck, and I nearly did it yesterday, because I've adopted this thing now, right? Last week I lost a decent amount of weight last now, and I'm very happy with the amount of weight that I've lost. And I would like to continue on this for the next few months, but not make it an obsession, like making TikToks every day and all that kind of stuff, but be 80-20, right? So 80% of the time I'm going to be carnivore, and then 20% of the time I might, if the opportunity arises, go for a pint. Or have that korma. Or like we did last Tuesday when we went to Cork, we went to Spitjacks, and I got the Husqvarna Rancheros, and there was bread with it. There was the sourdough bread, and you were like, do you want to get rid of that? And I was like, I'm going to have the bread. I want the bread. I'm not going to have it when I go home. And then I immediately got back onto carnivore, and I have been carnivore since. But I feel that's the way I want to do it. I want to be able to hop on.
Well, that's adapting your that's adapting your mindset anyway for what we want in the future, which is that you eat all your healthy grains and vegetables and blah for 80, and then 20 is when you go out or you're stuck at a gig or blah blah blah, that you are back on the wagon, because we've never been able to we've always done things and then fallen off the wagon and fallen off for months. So
yeah, and it's interesting. That's a big thing for me is the getting back on the wagon.
Yeah.
When you fall off the wagon. And I've fallen off the wagon about 3 times on this diet so far.
Yeah.
And I've got back on. And I'm finding it easier to get back on. But I haven't gone drinking yet. Drinking will be the one.
Drinking be the one for the mind.
And also when I've come off the wagon, you've been on the wagon. And when you're on the wagon, it's always more of a motivation. I have to get the constant hell here now, like, you know.
Yeah, or there was one of us on, so like you're going to just continue on with it, like you're not going to go the opposite way to them for a long period.
Have you any questions?
Have I any questions for you?
Any questions for me? I'm trying to sashay off the carnivore.
Oh yeah, I thought we talked enough about carnivore. It is a big part of our life at the
It
moment.
is a big part of our lives. I
Um,
like talking about it in segments, but like I think in the middle is a little bit like let's like have you any questions? Is there anything you want to know about me?
I think I pretty much know everything about you. Do I?
Do you?
Do you want to ask me any question?
What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. What's mine?
Green.
Yeah, you're right.
You're dressed in green, and I'm dressed in blue. It's the little things in life that give me entertainment.
Guys, we're going to go away from you now.
But you, oh, are we?
Yeah, we'll go away.
You don't want to talk about
But what?
Harvey John or anything like that? No,
Do you?
I don't mind. Maybe briefly.
Go on, so.
So, as most of you know, and you know what, Connie, a lot of people, some of your listeners would have been here 4 years ago, nearly to the day now. So, Harvey John O'Sullivan, our pride and joy, is autistic. And we found that out about 4 months ago.
No, 4 months.
4 years ago. Excuse me, Con. Thank you for interjecting there so kindly. So we found out 4 years ago, and he was on the cusp. So for us, it was on the cusp. Like I needed to find out really. So he was about 4 when we found out. But then we just got told last week that he potentially is dyslexic and he potentially has ADHD as well. And that he may also be going into a autism class. So it was a big shock, I suppose, to get on a random day. And it kind of pulled us back to 4 years ago, didn't it, a bit?
Yeah.
That we were a bit like, oh, okay, I thought we had all this autism stuff down. We were, proud, you're proud autistic parents or, that kind of way. But it will take time again and we'll obviously go to get the required diagnoses in the meantime. But we know that we'll do whatever we need to do for our small man. And he's still him and he's still happy and delighted with the world. So we will take it. It was a bit of a shock, but there was a couple of schools announced actually are introducing these classes around North Cork, and it was very interesting. Is that I found solace in it, but I spoke to a teacher and she had been speaking to a friend of hers that was going through the exact same feelings, and it was in the exact same position. Really, had assumed that her son was going to continue in mainstream school, and and then this was offered, and it's like it takes a while to get your head around it, because I suppose for us, when Harvey was diagnosed, the fact that he was going into mainstream was kind of a bit of a coping mechanism for us, because it was like, okay, right, he's
It's not
going
too bad. It's not going to be too bad for him.
Yeah, he's going to continue through life. He just has to. We'll help him with all the tools he needs to continue in the mainstream world.
The older he gets, the more noticeable it's becoming to people that he is autistic as well. Because when they were children, like they're all like when they're children, they all communicate by screaming and banging doors and stuff like that. And so I think it's becoming a little bit more noticeable with Harvey as well. And it's just so he hasn't got those diagnoses, and I'm actually slow to even say. This is what I said to you last week. I was like, I don't want any fucking hearsay. I want facts. Because there's a friend of mine passed away there before Christmas, and they got a late diagnosis on ADHD, and they lived their whole life thinking they were fucked up, thinking they were
different.
There's something wrong with me. I don't know what it is. And they lived their whole. I had conversations with this person about this their whole life, and then they got this diagnosis. And it gave them a kind of an explanation, but it was too late. It was too late for them because they had the trauma of their whole life.
Feeling wrong, feeling bad, feeling
that their foot didn't fit into the shoe correctly. And so that's the thing for me.
So, we are back again just for a quick minute to say that we didn't realise that the batteries went in the microphone recording thing. So,
Gone.
we were talking, I'd say, 5 minutes without it actually recording. So, but as we said at the start, the Canadians are coming and they've actually just come in. So, we gotta go. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode and we'll talk to you soon
And we'll discuss it again down the
in
line.
further as we continue.
Yeah.
Bye, 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 bye.
Stehen bei der Wahrheit. Stehen bei der Wahrheit. Steh in bei der fucking Wahrheit.
Go on.